Every year, the average Australian household loses $9,200, not to bad investments, not to scams, not to some catastrophic event, to their own daily habits. This is the video I wish someone had shown my parents, because what's happening to the Australian middle class isn't a mystery. It's a massacre. And it's happening right now, in plain sight. Every single morning, millions of Australians wake up and make a series of decisions. Individually, these decisions seem harmless, maybe even reasonable. They grab a $5 coffee on the way to work. They justify a $15 lunch because they're busy. They keep the streaming subscriptions even though they only watch one show. They finance a $50,000 car because that's what you do. Individually, these seem like nothing. Collectively, these decisions are destroying the Australian middle class. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening to your money, not with judgment. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here because I spent 3 months researching Australian consumer spending. I talked to financial planners, I dug through ASIC reports, I analyzed banking data. And what I found should scare every single Australian watching this video. This is the video that could save you $9,200 this year. Let's go. Let's start with the big picture. According to the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, the average Australian household carries $26,000 in consumer debt, and that's excluding mortgages. Credit cards alone cost Australians between $1.3 billion and $1.6 billion annually in interest payments. But debt isn't the real problem. Debt is a symptom. The real problem? It's what's happening before the debt. It's the slow bleed, the drip, drip, drip of money leaving your account so quietly you never even notice. A 2024 study by financial aggregator Frollo found that many Australians have far more direct debits set up on their bank accounts than they realize, some exceeding 30 automatic payments. Here's exactly where middle-class Australians are hemorrhaging money. Subscription services cost roughly $2,400 per year. Dining and takeaway cost roughly $4,160 per year. Impulse purchases cost roughly $2,100 per year. Unused memberships cost roughly $780 per year. Financial product fees cost roughly $1,320 per year. Total, $10,760 per household per year. $10,760. That's not chump change. That's a return flight to Japan. That's 6 months of childcare. That's a year's worth of groceries for a family of 4. And the worst part? Most Australians have no idea they're even doing it. Now let's talk about subscriptions, because this is where the math gets ugly. According to a 2024 Finder survey, the average Australian household spends approximately $200 per month on subscriptions. That's $2,400 per year. But here's the kicker. Many of these subscriptions are forgotten or unused. A 2023 Choice Australia survey found that 42% of Australian gym members rarely or never use their memberships. 42%. Let that sink in. Almost half of everyone paying for a gym is literally paying for the privilege of not going. They're paying hundreds of dollars a year for a place they never visit. Now here's what a real subscription audit looks like. Let's say you're a typical middle-class Australian couple, the Smiths. 2 incomes, mortgage, 2 kids. Your subscriptions? Netflix, $15.99 per month. Stan, $14 per month. Amazon Prime, $9.99 per month. Disney Plus, $13.99 per month. Spotify, $12.99 per month. Apple One, $25.99 per month. Gym, $60 per month. News sites, $30 per month. Productivity apps, $15 per month. Cloud storage, $12 per month. Total, $210 per month, $2,520 per year. And here's the kicker. You actively use maybe half of these. The rest are running in the background of your life, quietly draining your bank account. $2,520 per year is a return flight to Bali, 6 months of childcare, a comprehensive car service for 5 years, 12 months of additional mortgage payments. The subscription economy is designed this way. It's called frictionless spending. The money leaves your account automatically, so you never feel the pain. You feel it in December when you wonder where all your money went. But subscriptions are just the beginning. Now, let's talk about the silent killer, dining and takeaway. Australia has a love affair with convenience, and it's costing us billions. Australian Bureau of Statistics data shows Australians spent approximately $65.5 billion annually on dining out and takeaway. Per household, that's approximately $4,160 per year, or about $80 per week. But here's what makes this number dangerous. It's invisible. When you cook at home, you see the grocery bill. You feel every dollar leaving your account. When you grab a coffee on the way to work, a $5 coffee, that doesn't feel like $1,200 per year. It feels like $5. The same psychology applies to everything. Lunch at work, $15 times 5 days times 48 weeks equals $3,600 per year. Morning coffee, $5 times 5 days times 48 weeks equals $1,200 per year. Afternoon snack, $4 times 5 days times 48 weeks equals $960 per year. Added up, $5,760 per year. That's the average Australian's invisible food spending, and honestly, most of it is pure waste, convenience for convenience's sake. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Cooking at home isn't just healthier for your body, it's healthier for your bank account. A typical home-cooked meal costs $3 to $5 per person. The same meal delivered costs $18 to $25. You're paying a 500% premium for the privilege of not cooking. Now let me tell you about the biggest money trap in Australia, the car loan. Australia has one of the highest car ownership rates in the world and one of the most expensive. New cars lose approximately 20% of their value in the first year and around 40% in the first 3 years. After 5 years, a typical $50,000 car is worth about $20,000. That's $30,000 gone, not in fuel, not in maintenance, just in value destruction. But it gets worse when you finance. The average car loan in Australia is $39,000 at 7% interest over 5 years. Monthly payment, $770. Total cost, $46,200 for a car worth $20,000 at the end. That's $26,200 in pure interest and depreciation. Here's what nobody tells you. You probably don't need a new car. You might not even need a car at all depending on where you live and work. The average Australian drives approximately 13,400 kilometers per year. At current fuel prices, that's a significant annual cost. Add registration, insurance, maintenance, and depreciation. The real cost of car ownership? $12,000 to $18,000 per year. Now let's talk about the fees you're paying that you don't even know about. Bank account fees, $120 to $300 per year. ATM fees, $60 per year average. Credit card annual fees, $50 to $400 per year, often paying for rewards you don't use. Overlapping insurance, $400 per year average, paying for double coverage. Fund management fees, 0.5 to 2% annually on investments you don't track. Total, $1,030 to $1,860 per year in fees most Australians never notice. The worst part? Most of these fees are completely avoidable. You just need to know where to look. Now, I've spent this entire video telling you what's wrong, so let me tell you what to do about it. Step 1. The subscription audit. Set a calendar reminder. Once per quarter, every 3 months, go through every direct debit on your statement. Cancel what you don't actively use. Step 2. The 24-hour rule. For any non-essential purchase over $50, wait 24 hours. Research shows this eliminates 70% of impulse buys. Step 3. Meal prep Sundays. Cook your lunches for the week on Sunday. You'll save $3,000 to $4,000 per year. Step 4. The fee hunt. Call your bank. Call your insurer. Ask what fees you're paying. Ask if there are cheaper options. You'd be amazed what you can negotiate. Step 5. Challenge your car assumption. Ask yourself, do I really need this car? Could I carpool? Could I work from home 1 day per week? Could I take public transport? 1 day less driving per week saves you about $2,400 per year. Here's the truth about money. It's not about how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you earn. The middle class isn't being destroyed by some external force. It's being eroded by 1,000 small decisions, each one invisible, each one seemingly harmless. But when you add them up, $9,200 per year. That's what the average middle-class Australian household wastes every year, forever. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe, hit the bell, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.